Gombe Sama officials say flood kills 3, destroys 1,838 houses in 2023. Troops arrest suspected ISWAP informant in Borno. Appeal court fixes Friday for judgment on Kano-Goba dispute. On the foreign scene, at least 25 dead in fire accident in Chinese coal mining company. These are the headlines on Trust TV News Update at this hour. I am Ayuba Ilya. Thanks for joining me. The Gombe State Emergency Management Agency says 3 persons have died and 22 injured in the 2023 flood disaster in the state. The agency said that the disaster also killed 7 animals, destroyed 1,838 houses and 257 farmlands between May and October 2023. The agency's executive secretary, Abdullahi, stated this in an interview on Thursday in Gombe. Abdullahi said that 8 out of the 11 local government areas of the state experienced the disaster, as against 3 local government areas predicted in the 2023 flood outlook. Ako, Funakai, Balanga, Gombe, Nafada, Kaltungo, Shongom, and Yamal Tudeba are some of the areas worst hit. The secretary said that the rains, accompanied by strong windstorms, ravaged farmlands, causing damage to the farmers in the affected communities. Now, according to him, the state government is making efforts to expand the scope of the support services to all the affected communities. Speaking on the impact of this year's flood, Abdullahi said that there was a drop in the number of lives lost, adding that effective sensitization activities contributed positively. And on security matters, troops of Sector 3, Operation Hadinkai, in collaboration with the Multinational Joint Task Force, MNJTF, have reportedly apprehended Aji Dala, a suspected terrorist informant in Borno State. The 45-year-old suspect was reportedly captured on Tuesday in Mongodu local government area by the troops of the 242 Battalion in conjunction with intelligence operatives in Charamari area. Dala's arrest is said to be linked to a letter allegedly issued by the Islamic State West Africa province outlining their plan to attack Mongono town on November 17, 2023. The letter, signed by one Amir Halad Muhammad, warned the residents of an impending assault, triggering panic among the residents of Mongono. In a related development, troops of 7th Division and Sector 1 of Operation Hadinkai, in a separate operation, successfully killed 6 ISWAP fighters in their enclaves in Gime and Muzuri villages of Borno State. The operation also led to the rescue of 78 kidnapped victims, involving 30 women and 48 children, while several weapons, including AK-47 rifles and 3 Dane guns, were recovered during the operation. Now, the district head of Kujama in Chukun local government area of Kaduna State, Stephen Ibrahim, has been abducted by suspected gunmen. He was abducted alongside 2 others while walking out of a reservation center located behind Bethel Baptist School along Kaduna-Kujama Highway. The incident happened on Sunday evening, according to a local JTF senior member. According to him, the district head was in company of 2 others when the gunmen came on a motorcycle and picked him at gunpoint. Also confirming the incident to Daily Trust on Wednesday, the Arodon Chikun local government area, Ibrahim Saleh, described the incident as unfortunate. In a related development, 2 mobile police men sustained gunshot wounds as suspected bandits attacked Kakangi community in Birinagwari area of Kaduna State. The incident occurred on Monday morning when the bandits stormed the outskirts of the community, attempting to set ablaze the armored personnel carrier vehicle belonging to the mobile police in the area. The Anambra State Police Command said it has intercepted 2 syndicates that specialize in extorting money from unsuspecting members of the public through death threats. The state police spokesman, Tochukwu Ikenga, said in a statement on Thursday that police operatives at Ozubulu in Ekusigo local government area and Umunze in Orumba South local government area nabbed the suspect after a painstaking investigation. Ikenga explained that the suspect had sent text messages to their victim, identifying themselves as members of Eastern Security Network, demanding a huge sum to avoid he and his daughter being kidnapped and killed. In a similar development, the police at Ozubulu headquarters of Ekusigo local government area arrested 1 male suspect who used 2 different lines to issue death threats to a businessman. He claimed to be an ESN commander and ordered his victim to pay up or be killed. Commissioner of Police, Anambra State Police Command, Aderemi Adioye, has commended both DPOs for their diligence and painstaking effort, which led to unraveling the identities of the suspect and their arrest. Still on security matters, the Nigerian Medical Association NMA Enugu State Chapter has threatened to down tools if the state government and security agencies fail to address the rising trend of kidnapping of health workers in the state. According to NMA, no fewer than 10 health workers had been abducted, particularly from their workplaces in the past 2 months. In a communique signed by the state chairman of NMA, Dr. Celestine Ugoke, and General Secretary Dr. Sunday Okafor, the union, after an emergency general meeting on Wednesday, asked all health institutions in the state to, as a matter of urgency, set up a security committee. The NMA urged the health institutions to meet, adopt, and adapt the UNTH template currently being implemented, while also factoring in their peculiarities as the case may be. Now, appeal court will deliver judgment on Kano governorship election appeal filed by Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf and his party, the New Nigeria People's Party, NNPP, on Friday. Yusuf and his party, the NNPP, are challenging the judgment of the Election Petition Tribunal that voided his election on September 20 after deducting 165,663 votes from his total vote tally for not being stamped, signed and dated. The tribunal then declared APC governorship candidate Yusuf Gawuna winner of the election. Chief Press Secretary to the governor, Sanusi Bature, said that in a letter sent to legal team of the governor, informed them that the Court of Appeal will deliver judgment by 10 in the morning. The NNPP and APC are both optimistic that the judgment will favor them. Now, NNPP chairman in the state, Hashim Suleiman Dungurawa, said that justice will be served and the verdict of the lower court will be overturned, while an aide to the APC governorship candidate, Hassan Fage, expressed confidence that the appellate court will uphold the verdict of the tribunal based on the evidence presented. Nigeria's main opposition party, the People's Democratic Party, has called on the Chief Justice of the Federation and President of the Court of Appeal to disband and reconstitute the Plateau State Appeal Panel over alleged compromise. The acting national chairman of the party made the call at a news conference at the party secretariat in Abuja, while accusing the APC-led government of using the institutions of the state to emasculate opposition parties in the country. Shafiu Suleiman reports.
The fallout from the judicial outcomes regarding the 2023 elections continues as the leadership of the main opposition party says it had earlier demanded the disbandment of what it called the compromised Plateau State Appeal Panel, but the authorities concerned remain adamant despite how high the stakes are in the charged atmosphere in Plateau State.
Of particular concern is the perverse pattern and attempts by the APC to use certain hugely compromised electoral petition courts to snatch election clearly won by the PDP and award them to the defeated candidates of the APC, who were rejected by the people at the polls in the most of these states across the country.
The party alleged that the Tinubu administration is using the institutions of the state, including the judiciary, to deny PDP its election victories in Zamfara, Sokoto, amongst others, in an attempt to turn the country into a one-party state.
The Plateau State Election Appeal Court panel, in clear departure from well-established judicial precedents on matters settled by the Supreme Court, delivered varying, contradictory, and conflicting judgments on election appeals with the same subject matter, same facts, same circumstances, and same applicable laws in biased judgment clearly skewed against the PDP in favor of the APC.
The concerns raised by the PDP are coming hours after its presidential candidate in the February 25 election, Atiku Abubakar, called on opposition political parties in the country to form an alliance against perceived plans by the ruling party to muzzle the opposition and turn Nigeria into a one-party state. Shafiu Suleiman, Trust TV News, Abuja.
The federal government has reduced to 6 counts the fraud charges it filed against the immediate past governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele. The charges bordering on alleged procurement were originally 20. In the original charge, the federal government alleged that the procurement fraud was to the tune of 6.5 billion naira. The original charges were first filed in August. Now, Emefiele was charged alongside a female CBN employee, Sa'adatu Yaro, and her company, April 1616 Investment. The arraignment before the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, was told on 2 occasions as the Department of State Services failed to produce Emefiele in court. Following his release by the DSS and immediate rearrest by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission on October 27, the federal government amended the charges against him. Emefiele is the only defendant in the new charge. The Nigerian Senate has confirmed the appointment of Aminu Maida as the Executive Vice Chairman of the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC. This follows the presentation and adoption of a report of the Committee on Communication by the Chairman, Senator Ikra Bilbis, at the Committee of the Whole on Thursday. Senator Bilbis said that the committee had screened Maida and he had passed all security clearance, possessed the requisite qualification, professional experience, competence, and regulatory capacity to further ensure success of the NCC. He therefore urged the Senate to approve the nomination. Now, Senate thereafter confirmed the appointment of Aminu Maida as the Executive Vice Chairman of the NCC.
Distinguished colleagues, will the Senate confirm the nomination of Dr. Aminu Maida for appointment as Executive Vice Chairman of the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Dr. Aminu Maida is hereby confirmed as the Executive Vice Chairman of the Nigerian Communications Commission.
And having been satisfied with his qualifications, experience, stability, competence, and ability on communication regulatory matters, hereby recommends that the Senate do confirm the nominee, Dr. Aminu Maida, as the Executive Vice Chairman of the Nigerian Communication Commission.
You're watching the news update on Trust TV. Coming up shortly. 1 dead as another story building collapses in Lagos. Details and more after the break.
Why did you develop this reputation as somebody who is difficult to work with?
I will tell the truth. No matter whose ox is gored, I will say exactly how it is.
This is why I actually sympathize with commissioners of nowadays, where a commissioner sometimes is just a picture. You find somebody, even a cleaner and the governor's wife, can interfere with their abilities.
Even the ministers, there are very many who respected me, simply because I never complained about them. I never went to ask for a favor, never.
So none of that has happened?
Nothing.
But if it hasn't happened, do you have hope that now another government coming in?
There's no hope.
So you've given up
I've given
politics?
I've given up. It's gone, it's gone.
Retrenchment from work is the most hated thing by unions. It's loss of job means that is loss of life, in fact, for civil servants at that time.
Nigeria's economy, Nigeria's security, Nigeria's intelligence. This is what the materials we were handling. And I thought government would be very interested.
The reasons why you adopted federalism is not because of finesse, not because you like it. It's because of its functional utility.
Thanks for staying with us. You're watching the news update on Trust TV. Here's a look at the top stories. Gombe Sema officials say flood kills 3, destroys 1,838 houses in 2023. Plus, troops arrest suspected ISWAP informant in Borno. Disaster risk management remains key to addressing the numerous challenges impacting Nigeria through natural disasters and insecurity. Nigeria has a significant challenge of displacement, which has pushed millions into destitution and poverty, a situation that calls for urgent intervention. Abdurrahman Umar reports on the theme of a two-day event organized by the National Emergency Management Agency in partnership with international organizations to address the gaps.
This is a gathering of industry experts with the sole aim of unpacking the gaps and challenges militating against effective disaster management in Nigeria.
Furthermore, the recent escalation of growing frequency and severity of disasters in form of banditry, boat mishaps, building collapse, urban and market fires, coupled with hydrometeorological hazards, powered by climate change and climate variability, have ignited the compelling desire to develop the Nigeria Disaster Risk Management Plan. The plan is also very critical in enabling Nigeria to align with and drive the targets of the Sendai Framework, an African Program of Action on Disaster Risk Reduction.
The international partners are synergizing with Nigerian authorities to add value to existing systems, which will help overcome challenges and reject the sector.
Today, almost half of Nigeria's population, which is around 91 million people, face what we define as multidimensional poverty in various dimensions. Communities are constantly being impacted by environmental and health hazards. This includes droughts, floods, epidemics, and many man-made disasters like oil spills and terrorism. Clear that sound disaster risk management at all levels, national to local, is key to building the resilience of communities and the economy.
Emphasis is no longer on disaster management. Talk about the Sendai Framework. It's disaster risk reduction.
Let us forge a path towards a safer and more secure future for our beloved Nigeria.
The chief consultant, Prof. Andrew Obafemi, says the National Strategy for Disaster Risk Reduction and Action Plan for Nigeria is designed to ensure practical deliberations and proper implementations.
Because we are dealing with practical things we are seeing already. but we just need a proper roadmap. We just need a proper guide, action plan to give responsibilities, to assign responsibilities to people, and to commit various stakeholders to ensure that there is proper funding and investing in ensuring that we get it right in this country when it comes to disaster risk reduction.
This stakeholders consultation for the development of the National Strategy for Disaster Risk Reduction and Action Plan for Nigeria project is expected to support the renewed hope agenda of the federal government, especially in the areas of poverty eradication, food security and inclusivity. Abdurrahman Omar, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Meanwhile, a story building located in Oyibo, Lagos State, partially collapsed in the early hours of Thursday, killing a yet-to-be-identified older woman. The building has since been cordoned off, and Lagos State Building Control Agency has been contacted, while search and rescue operations have commenced. The Lagos State Emergency Management Agency said that in a statement on Thursday that the woman died from the impact of the partial collapse, while no one else was injured in the collapse. The agency explained that an internal suspended beam in a room collapsed due to the aging and lack of maintenance of the structure. The Customs Area Controller for Oyo Osun Command, Ben Oramalugo, has restated the command's commitment to deploy the necessary apparatus and engagements in mitigating drug trafficking and abuse, as well as the proliferation of arms and ammunition. The Customs Chief gave this assurance in Ibadan during the handover of 64 sacks and 150 wraps of cannabis sativa with a duty-paid value of 14 million naira in addition to other seized items. The report.
Briefing journalists, the area controller says the command has been able to increase its revenue base through rigorous enforcement measures and strategic initiatives, even as it strives to contribute its quota to the nation's economic growth.
During the period covering September to October 2023, the command, through its rigorous enforcement measures and strategic initiatives, has contributed to the economic growth of the nation by collecting the sum of 11,609,732,583 naira as revenue into the coffers of the federal government. When added to the revenue collected for the period covering January to August 2023, the command has collected a sum of 59,087,983,670 naira 64 kobo. This feat is made possible by our resolve to continue to prioritize trade facilitation.
In its latest success story, the command had intercepted 64 sacks and 150 wraps of cannabis sativa with a street value of over 14 million naira and handed over to officials of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency.
Like United Nations on Crime and Crime and Drugs, say that between 15 and 35, about 14.4% of the population are addicted to drug. NDLA recently said that between 18 and 35, about 40% are addicted to drug. My children are addicted to drug, your own children are addicted to drug. So if you keep quiet, if you don't do anything about it, the future of Nigeria is at stake.
We are very, very grateful to the custom because you have done well. At least you have saved many lives. Had it been this thing enter our community or our society in Nigeria, I don't know what would have happened now. We would have lost or lose a lot of people. But now, with your efforts, something good has already happened.
The command also warned individuals with nefarious intentions aimed at sabotaging the economic development of the nation to steer clear of its coverage areas, as all resources in accordance with extant laws would be deployed to ensure that economic saboteurs are brought to justice.
On the foreign scene, at least 25 people died in a fire on Thursday in the building of a coal mining company in the northwest Chinese province of Shaanxi. Chinese news agency Xinhua reports that more than 60 people were evacuated during rescue efforts, which are still underway. The exact cause of the fire was initially unclear, while authorities say that the exact number of victims is still unknown. The fire broke out early in the morning on the second floor of a 5-story building which belongs to the Yongju Coal Company in the city of Luliang. Working conditions in the China's mining industry are considered extremely dangerous, with official figures indicating that there were 518 accidents in mines last year. The world's second largest economy is a major global producer of coal. And that's a wrap on the news update. You can watch more via all our social media platforms and also on our YouTube live stream. I am Ayuba Ila. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.